The controversial Pacquiao versus Jeff Horn delivers huge ratings for ESPN. Stay tuned. Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. We working. Super chat, thank you. Patreons, thank you. And also for the donations. Now, Pacquiao versus Horn, it was quite the fight. It was a fight that some people didn't expect it to last, and it did. So credit to Jeff Horn. I think if anything, he proved that he was durable. He was a lot more durable than a lot of people, and it delivered, and it shows in the numbers. I want to get to some of the numbers and just overall recap what happened. So the Pacquiao Horn telecast on ESPN, it drew an audience. It peaked at 4.4 million homes, 4.4 million viewers. It averaged 3.1 million viewers. So these are very good Nielsen ratings for this, and this became the highest rated and most watched boxing telecast since 2006, and on ESPN since 1995. So the previous highest for just a boxing telecast was July 22nd, 2006, and that was Arturo Gatti fighting Carlos Baldomir. But for the network ESPN, 1995, so a year before Tupac died, or pretty much the year he got out of jail. That was the last time ESPN had a fight that had these types of crazy numbers. So very good numbers for Pacquiao Horn. The Battle of Brisbane pretty much sets up a rematch because of how it played out. Some people still feel Jeff Horn won. Some people think Pacquiao should have won. And it is what it is. But these are good numbers. I'm glad to hear, because at the end of the day, this is about boxing, and you want to see boxing when it does hit the mainstream do well. You don't want to see it tank, like, you know what I mean? That's why you can always separate the real from the fake. Like, some people gallivant and they run around in comment sections and act like they're diehard boxing fans, but you could tell they're rejoicing when boxing has a failure, something that shouldn't be. Like, ha ha, Golovkin versus Jacobs did low numbers, ha ha. Ward Kovalev 1 and 2, bad pay-per-view numbers, ha ha. Crawford versus Postal, bad numbers. Like, why are you happy about that? You know what I'm saying? And all those fights that I listed were great fights and meaningful fights for their divisions. You know what I mean? So that doesn't even make sense to be like that. Even though I told you guys openly and candidly, I didn't know much about Jeff Horn. I said I'm not making a prediction because I don't know enough about him. And I don't think that was the fight that boxing needed. And I still believe that. I mean, imagine if Jeff Horn, a guy who virtually the basic boxing fans, most of them, even the diehards, didn't know who he was. Imagine if you put Pacquiao versus Terrence Crawford on free TV. If it did this kind of numbers with someone that even a casual fan has never seen. Imagine if there was a person like Broner or Adrian Garcia, or Adrian Broner or Danny Garcia or somebody. You know what I mean? Those numbers would have been out of the galaxy. But I'm not trying to shy away or take away from the success of this event. Another thing that should be added is this ESPN, they streamed this fight, right? So they made it available for streaming, and then they had it on ESPN and ESPN Deportes. So that's the power of the network. So unlike, let's say, Danny Garcia versus Keith Thurman, Premier Boxing Champions on CBS, that was only available on CBS. So it wasn't like CBS Latino, or they didn't stream it. So just something you have to know. But again, it doesn't take away, because at the end of the day, I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. It's a business. ESPN has these different versions, ESPN 1, 2, and ESPN Deportes and regular ESPN, and they have streaming capability. So you're supposed to use that to maximize your profit and the exposure and do what's right for your business. So very, very good numbers. Like I said, it probably sets up a rematch, and this is what I want to see. And this is what I was telling you guys. I think De La Hoya, he kind of missed the mark with the fighters he has. Obviously, he's not going to put like Canelo versus Golovkin on ESPN. That just logistically wouldn't make sense. But he did have a fight that was a fight that I think easily could have broken Golden Boy's tenure with ESPN, because they recently did that multi-fight deal, and the first fight was Glenn Tapia versus Jason Quigley of Australia. And the numbers, I don't remember it doing crazy numbers, but the fight that I told you guys that Golden Boy should have used to open up, to kick off Golden Boy's working relationship on ESPN as far as bringing boxing back to the network, was David Lemieux versus Curtis Stevens. I think that was an all-action fight. The names were probably a little bit more known, not than Pacquiao, but than Jeff Horn. So that would have been a good look for Golden Boy as far as I'm concerned, and it would have ended in a crazy knockout. But back to Pacquiao Horn, the fight was a good fight. I told you my opinions. I've been saying it. I thought Pacquiao won the fight, but I do blame Pacquiao being the elite person. And some people, see, this is, the radical fans never understand anything, because they, anytime you say something they don't want to hear, then it's a problem, because they don't want to hear the truth. You know what I mean? Tell the truth. Tell the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. And the reason why I'm saying I blame Pacquiao is because he has the more experience, and he has certain tools where he could have made that fight look a little bit different. I really believe that. He moves better overall, has better footwork, faster, but he doesn't fight. He fights, and he got lured into a dogfight, and that's what it was. Cuts, bleeding, both fighters hurt, spilling around, a gunslinging firefight. And Pacquiao, at his age, you've already been through wars. You've been knocked out multiple times. You have to fight smart, you know what I'm saying? So on one hand, it's great for, like, in terms of views, but you just lost your title to a John Doe, a guy that people weren't really checking for. So these ratings are great. The sustained action is great, but I'm always going to point out when I feel the fighter makes a fight harder than it needs to be. I thought Keith Thurman did it with Sean Porter. He was engaging, and it led to an exciting fight, which is good. This is all great for TV ratings, trust me. I'm not complaining, but I'm just talking about the fighter for their career's sake. You know what I mean? Because now some people thought Sean Porter won because Keith Thurman, I'm not saying Sean Porter had no chance or whatever, but I do think he has the better technical boxing skills. He was taller than Sean Porter, so you should have just kept him away. So again, it makes for great TV. These fights like Porter Thurman, or that was on free TV, or this fight Pacquiao Horn, but some of you guys didn't understand what I was referring to. And I think Pacquiao made this fight more difficult. Not saying Jeff Horn doesn't have heart or wasn't coming to win, because he clearly was doing that. He showed you that. He showed you heart. He showed you he's durable. I seen him the next day, seen some video of him. His eye looked horrible. So he definitely took a beating and took his share of licks and dished out his share of punishment. So it was a good fight. I think Pacquiao, especially considering his age, he should have fought smarter. Letting a bigger guy look, Jeff Horn look real big next to him. You know what I mean? I know Pacquiao's not big. I met him, and bottom line is he just looked bigger. So you don't let someone muscle you around and keep bringing the fight to you. But other than that, very, very good ratings. And Top Rank, they've been in the business for so long, and it shows. They're making educated moves. As far as I'm concerned, the Top Rank ESPN deal just got announced. Correct me if I'm wrong, but after Golden Boy. But I think Top Rank, what they have lined up is probably more impactful than any of the Golden Boy cards that I've seen on ESPN. And I'm not trying to pick Golden Boy versus Top Rank, but you know, on my channel, I'll give it to you real, uncut, and raw. Because Top Rank just got Pacquiao. They put pretty much the stable head, Manny Pacquiao. He's been Top Rank. You know what I mean? He's been the biggest star on Top Rank. They just put their biggest star. Granted, they had to, because it was Jeff Horn, and they had to fight in Australia. But I mean, they set up a good event. 50,000 people, 55,000 people, the biggest star on Top Rank, and you put him on free TV. So I mean, that's why you had Kobe Bryant watching and tweeting after the fight. You had Aaron Rodgers. So it was a good business move, because although Pacquiao got slack for being a champion and fighting an unknown guy. I mean, it all turned out. He's probably going to get 12 million, maybe 15 million for this fight. I don't know his actual purse. He lost, but some people are on his side. Feel he doesn't lose. Jeff Horn, you know what I mean? That changed the guard in boxing. You had celebrities talking about it. A lot of people talking about it. So, I mean, all in all, it benefits the sport of boxing. So I'm glad it did good and set these landmark recent numbers for ESPN. And like I said, like, I'm not trying to pit Top Rank versus Golden Boy, but truth is, you just put your biggest star on ESPN and people watched, evident by the numbers. And now you're putting one of your other big stars, two of them, on ESPN. Vasyl Lomachenko, even though he's only fighting Miguel Mariaga, I mean, the boy is sweet, high tech, and scrap. So people will probably tune into that one too. You know what I mean? Because Jeff Horn wasn't a ready-made fight or where people were just clamoring for it, but people tuned in because of the style of fight that it ended up being. You know what I mean? Flipping through the channel, I was like, oh, what's this? Oh, this is good. Oh, Pacquiao's bleeding. What? You know what I mean? So Vasyl Lomachenko, if he does his thing, I'm sure that can turn in good numbers. And then you're also putting Terrence Crawford. So to me, I think Top Rank, even though they joined the ESPN network deal after, their brand has put on better cards. You know what I mean? Like some of the ESPN, like, to be honest, I haven't even watched a lot of I watched the Quigley, Glenn Tapia, but I haven't watched some of the other ESPN Golden Boy cards. So I think Golden Boy, they have the stable to do it, and they have some names. So to me, that's what they need to, that's what they should do. They should be putting together. Like I said, I understand business. Canelo's probably never going to be on ESPN unless his career's on the backside. So I get that. But you got other fights that you could put, you know what I'm saying? And logistically, it'll make sense. If Top Rank can figure out somehow, some way to make Pacquiao, Jeff Horn on there, you could sacrifice, put like a David Lemieux or somebody on this. And that's just what I think. Let me know your thoughts. Great numbers for Pacquiao Horn. I'll give you guys more updates as they pour in. Make sure you share the video, like the video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.